Hello my friends. Today in this session we are going to understand one of the business requirement with the radio frequency framework or with the RF UI or with the RF devices or with the RF framework. The business requirement is very simple. Actually, we have to or we are going to sell the pistons, which is the truck pistons, some different size of pistons, or we are going to sell the diesel locomotive parts piston to our customers in the market. So before selling the product to the customers, we perform the picking process. And what is the flow? We create the sales order. Based on the sales order, we perform the outbound delivery to send the product to the customer. So when we have the outbound delivery, then our warehouse workers, based on the outbound delivery or outbound delivery order, based on the task, based on the warehouse order, based on the warehouse process type, the warehouse workers, they go to the rack or almirah, or we call storage types in the warehouse business language. So in the warehouse management, we store the goods into the final storage type, which is the storage type would be different type. Fast moving, multiple types we have the storage type. Slow moving, hierarchy storage type, pallet storage type, bulk storage type. We have different kind of storage types. So in this business requirement, I am going to explain you when the warehouse workers, he is going to pick the handling unit. So on the handling unit, when we receive the same handling unit from the vendor or supplier, we received on the HUs, we received the some kind of barcodes. So when we purchase the product, then we receive through the vendor, we receive the barcodes. So in the barcodes, we have some of the information such as, and we have the GS1 website. Here we can check different kind of barcodes with the different countries. We have the different types of standards. So in this business scenario, our warehouse workers, he is going to sell the product to the customers. So the first step, we need to pick the product from the hierarchy storage type. Or our warehouse user, warehouse resource, warehouse workers, warehouse employees, all are same. So the warehouse workers, he will handle the RF device on the hand, and he is going to pick some specific handling unit or loose material, loose product, or some kind of carton boxes or some kind of boxes. So finally we are going to pick from the hierarchy storage type pistons, different size, different types, different kind of pistons. Okay, some kind of truck pistons, some kind of different kind of heavy like kind of trucks pistons, or diesel locomotive parts. In that situation, our warehouse workers, so first when the warehouse workers will go to pick the product, okay, then by default on the RF UI screens, we do not have to scan the European article number. In the short form we call EAN number. EAN number indicates or identification of the product. Very simple thing. Okay, we have the material number or product number, but the EAN number, it's nothing but an ID of the product. Okay, so when the warehouse workers is going to pick that product, so in the RF UI screen, we do not have the EAN number to be scanned. No functionality. So that's why we perform the enhancements of the RF UI implementation or the improvements to adding some kind of additional business functionality into the RFUI screens. By default, on the RFUI screen, here in this my example, we do not have the EAN number to scan EAN number, because why we need to scan the EAN number at the time of inbound, outbound? Why require this? Because EAN number contains the identification of the product, okay, in the form of labels. Label kind, with different kinds of label we could have. So one of the example. So the warehouse workers, when the warehouse worker will go to pick the handling unit, okay, he knows we have the EAN number, more details, SSCC, serial shipper container code, which is the handling unit ID, and the EAN number means product ID, and SSCC, serial shipper container code, means handling unit ID. Everything they have specific identification to be identified, okay, before picking, before selling, before performing put away, any process inside the warehouse management businesses. So when the warehouse worker is going to pick, he knows we have the EAN number, everything, but we do not have any functionality on the RF screen to scan the barcodes which contains EAN number, European article number, product ID. We have two of the standard table, MARM, okay, and MEAN. MEAN, this table contains material number or product number, and also it contains the EAN number. That's why this table name we have MEAN, means material EAN, European article number or master European article number table. Another table we have MARM. So MARM table contains handling unit identification, okay, and also product details. So before going to pick the handling unit, the warehouse worker should verify. For an example, I'm the warehouse worker. I'm going to pick the handling unit, and I know we have the barcodes. We have the EAN number. We have the SSCC number. Okay, serial shipper container code. HU is nothing but a box. Handling unit is nothing but a container. So that specific container, we have the box ID. We call this as the serial shipper container code. So to verify the same, my dear friends, the warehouse also, if you want to looking for a specialization in the RFUI, you may refer my book. So in that situation, the warehouse workers, for an example, I'm the warehouse worker resource. I'm going to pick the handling unit. To scan the EAN number, that functionality I should have on my screen of the RFUI devices or RF devices, because I hold the physical RF devices to scan. It's mobile device or more advanced devices we have nowadays. But on the screen, we should have one button to scan the handling unit or scan the EAN number. So MARM table contains handling unit identification and product detail also. MEAN table contains product detail, and we have the EAN number details, EAN details also inside this. Both are the very good tables actually we have here, okay. So what I will do first, before picking the product, before picking the handling unit, I need to be verify. Means I'm going to pick the right HU, right product or not. For the verification, I want to get one button on the RFUI devices, which is, so the same I am going to explain you here, the business requirement, how we can do this, okay. And if you are looking for expertise specialization into RFUI technical development with the sample codes, examples, or the functional side, you may approach to me. So we will start from the Learn with Mans. My name is Mans Nagar. I am from Learn with Mans. Let's get started. So today our requirement is RF enhancements for outbound picking or picking process for the outbound delivery, because we are going to sell the product to the customer. So next point. See here, you will be understand. So we have one of the final storage type. Here we have the different kind of handling unit or some of the loose product, some of the pistons, 13-inch, 12-inch, 11-inch, like diesel locomotive parts. We have the truck pistons, we have the more heavy vehicle pistons here. So we are going to pick, or directly we are going to pick the handling unit. Suppose I am going to pick I am the warehouse worker or resource. Okay, so I am going to pick this handling unit. Okay, HU5, and on this HU we have the barcodes. Now see the zoom addition of the HU here. So on the handling unit we have the two types of barcodes. Here we can see, I will do little zoom, or if you can see, that's fine. So here we have two kinds of barcodes. The first barcode contains the delimiter. Actually, RF devices contain some kind of digits, special character, machine understandable, because machine captures automatically RF devices. So in the configuration, we may say to system, we don't require this. So in the configuration, we do this. The next is the 02. In the bracket, I have mentioned 02. What is the 02? 02 is nothing but an application ID, okay, or identification of the specific. It indicates EAN or product ID. Okay, 02 contains EAN. We call these are the prefixes, or we call these are the application ID, all are same. Then we have the, for an example, EAN number. This is an EAN number. Then we have, which is the, what is the EAN number? European article number. What is the meaning of the EAN number? Which is the product identification number. Product, not product number, product ID number, or one kind of product number, but it indicates product identification number. So this is the product identification number. 15, best before date or expiration date. If we have the some kind of food product in the cane, then we have, but for an example I mention here to explain you. Then 15, best before date we have. Then we have another application ID 20 here, which is the version variant of the product, which is 03. Then we have 37, which is the quantity, 10,000 quantity of the small pistons we have in one handling unit, which is located here at right now, current moment. So I will put here, instead of spark plugs, I will put here piston, okay, piston for small pistons, 10,000 quantity. So here we have another barcode, which is the bracket 00. 00 means SSCC HUID, handling unit ID. Handling unit is a container. Handling unit is a box, one type of box, which holds the item. Very simple. So it has one ID. We call this is the SSCC, serial shipper container code, which is the HUID, and in the bracket I mention here 00, which is the prefix or an application ID. This is an application ID. Then in the bracket we have the 10. 10 is the lot number or batch number. This is the batch number. Full HU, full pallet we have this, which is located here. So the warehouse workers is going to scan this barcode where we have the EAN product ID number. But on our RF device screen, RF UI screen, we don't have that functionality to scan the EAN number. That's why we are performing here enhancements. Okay, on the RF screen we provide one button, okay, to scan the EAN number. So for the same, what we need to do, so this I explain this part. Now I will jump to the here to the explain you the requirement. EAN means product ID, which is 13 digits we have, okay, which contains, so this 02 only contains these 13 digits. So here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, you consume, we have the more digits till 13. Okay, because I have the less space, so I put less number here. So EAN product ID contains 13 digits European article number, which is the product identification number. And this EAN number we can find in MEAN or MARM, both the tables. Okay, and to identify this handling unit or SSCC HUID or serial shipper container code, we can find inside the table /SCWM AQUA, where we do the verification information of the HU we have. Right. Next point. At the time of picking, the user wants the EAN, he wants to scan this barcode. Okay, this first barcode, user wants to scan this particular barcode. For the same thing, we provide the button. I will explain you where we need to provide the button. Okay, because through the, we need to verify we have the multiple HUs, which is the right HU. So to verify the product picking correct or not, where our resource will scan the EN product ID or barcode. Then in the RFUI or RF screen, we use RFUI /NSCWM, or the users they use, okay, the management in the warehouse they use RFUI, or the resources they use the devices. Then all these things will be verified from the behind the system, behind the development, through the codes what we write inside the RFUI enhancement. Now come to the RFUI screen. Okay, at the runtime, warehouse workers will see this screen on the RFUI device. So this is picking RFUI outbound delivery process. What he will see, storage bin, this particular storage bin. Okay, this bin, we have the bin, right, labels, number, bin number, details. This is storage bin. So MM09 01 03, okay, this bin we have the number here, MM09 01 03. So source bin, right. Source HU, the HU we are going to pick here, this is the HU number. Okay, source picking handling unit. And how we scan in the /and SCWM /RFUI, we just copy this in the system for SAP GUI. We copy from here detail, we paste here, we copy, we paste here. That means we are scanning. The same time the warehouse workers, they scan, they enter, they mention the records in the screen. Okay, and this is the scanning process. Copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, means at runtime we are scanning on the SAP GUI screen. Product here we have 731. I provide here, we need to provide here one of the button, which is the scan EAN for product 731. Before picking the product, before picking the handling unit, I want to verify I'm going to pick the right handling unit or product or not. That's why we want it, or we want one button on the RF screen. So then this is the description. Okay, so P713 piston 131 means 13 inches, depends. 93 is the quantity, because this is the outbound delivery picking process. Copy 93, put here 93, or put here the quantity you want to pick, 50. Okay, for an example, available quantity you have destination HU. Okay, destination HU, where we are going to place the product. Okay, the HU, because source destination would be similar, could be different handling units. Drop off HU number, that's why I mentioned here. I provide one button here /scan EAN. So then we can scan the EAN number based on this product. So if you go to MEAN table or MARM, MEAN means master or material European article number, which is a product ID number, MARM table. Here you will find the both product number and the EAN detail, or material number or the EAN detail. If you go to MARM, again you will find both the details. If you now, after verification, I want to pick the So I want to verify the handling unit. So verify the handling unit, we have the table header / SAWM aqua verification HU. So this is the basic process to enhance. Based on this requirement, we provide the button, we do the customization, we write the code. Okay, then this screen would be enhanced. So this is the business functionality, business requirement to perform the best picking outbound delivery process through the RFUI. Thank you very much, guys. See you again. Thank you.